Welcome to the show. We're at Taj Salon with the owners, Andrea and Jeannie.
Hi. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you.
Welcome to Taj.
Thanks for kind of giving us a tour. I know you guys have been very busy, successful here, and we
Yep.
kind of want to see what you're doing and maybe see what
Awesome.
your secrets are.
Awesome. Well, as you walk in, this is our retail area. We've got 3 different hair care lines, from Aveda, Unite Pureology, to a professional skincare line, Eminence, and Dermalogica. So we like to customize everything to our guest needs that we have here at Taj. So if you want to follow us.
So let's say the guest, the person buying it,
Yeah.
is buying for his wife, his girlfriend, and doesn't know what her needs are. What's the best thing to do?
Come to us and we are the experts. We have a ton of product knowledge and we're going to lead you in the right direction that you need so you can buy that purchase.
Because I know I've come in a few times and I usually just head right to the counter
Yep.
and throw
We'll
myself
help
at the
you.
mercy of the...
We're the
Our
experts.
assistants.
Okay,
We're the professionals, so
Good,
you don't
good.
have to worry.
perfect.
Yeah. All right, and then as you walk through here, this is our salon area. So we have 15 stations over here. We do anything from haircuts, color, hair extensions, conditioning treatments, anything that you do
Short
with
hair?
Short hair.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Guys, females, kids, anyone.
Okay.
Yep, across the board. So
Perfect.
with all of our hair services too, as we're kind of walking over here, it's really more of an experience. So you're going to get a scalp massage, you're going to get a shoulder massage, you're going to get an awesome experience at our shampoo bowl with warm towels, hand and arm massage, and then you'll go into your hair service. So it's much more than just a haircut or a color. It's a true experience.
Yeah, so, and this has never have happened to me, of course, where I've forgot the anniversary or something, and I'm like, I gotta buy something. So guys, I'm assuming, come running in here, desperation,
Yep.
and you guys will help them kind of pick out a package that's gonna give
Yeah,
them.
we have spa packages, we have gift cards. You can print it off right from your office if it came down to the last minute.
Middle of the night, you
online.
wake up and
Middle of
realize
the
you
night.
screwed up.
We've got you covered.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, how
Don't
about
need to
the,
worry.
what is the package that I wore white after Labor Day? I didn't notice my wife got her haircut. I said she looked fat in that outfit. I've really messed up. Is there like a, I need
Then
real
you
big
can
help?
fix it all, a day
Yeah.
of serenity.
Yep.
at
Okay,
Taj
so day of
Salon.
serenity, is that
Yes,
what you need to do?
Yep. Everything from
And-
hair to makeup to massage and facial.
Okay, so that's the, I really
That's the
messed
best
up.
remedy.
Got it.
Day
Okay.
of Serenity, you're gonna get a light spa lunch with that. It's about 6 hours. So she's gonna come here and she's gonna leave like a new woman, so relaxed. She's
She'll
gonna
be
look
so happy.
beautiful, and you're out of the doghouse. So
That's good. A little decompression time to let the counting begin. Okay.
yep,
I can,
yep.
Okay.
So I can bring you back into the spa here too. So
Yep.
this is where the massage and things like that. So back through here we have 3 treatment rooms, and we do massage, we do facials, we do body wraps, we do airbrush tanning, we do eyelash extensions. So this is kind of more of the relaxing part of Taj Salon and Spa. The hair area is a little more energized, things like that. This is where you really come to just chill out and relax. So it's really nice.
let the steam off.
Yep.
Exactly.
Got
Yep.
it. Yep. Absolutely.
So
And so
yeah.
people, they would, is it like, if I said I want to try to get in, is it lead time? Is it a couple days? Is it more?
It's best to pre-book your appointment from your first one for your next one
Okay.
before you leave. But we often have availability. If you want to call the same day, we can see if we can fit you in. Otherwise, usually within a couple of days.
Okay. Perfect.
Walk-ins are always welcome too. If we have an opening, we'll get you in as soon as possible. So, and then over here we have manicure and pedicure area. So we've got anything from a basic pedicure to a more spa luxurious manicure, pedicure, things like that. So kind of another segment of the spa area to just really relax after a long day of work or on the weekend. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was curious, you guys made a decision to invest your money in our city, and just, I know things have been kind of building up here.
Exactly.
And so I'm
Yep.
kind of curious,
Yep.
how do you guys feel about what's happening, what's coming?
We're
things like that?
very optimistic, really excited. We decided 7 years ago that this is where we wanted to be, and it was in the beginning of the recession. So to have growth and to be able to continue to expand and add more employees, take on more square footage, it's a dream come true for us.
And how many employees do you have?
We have 40 at this location and 10 to 12 at our Minneapolis location.
Okay, perfect.
So,
Thank you for that, and
You're
we're
welcome.
glad you've chosen,
Yep.
the city. I know that it's your money, you've
Yep.
invested, and we're hopefully, going to bring in a lot of customers. We're pretty hopeful that some of these businesses are going to have lots of people who need to buy the packages for the wives that they've messed
Yep.
up. And
We're excited about the growth in Brooklyn
Yeah.
Park. It's a great city to be in.
Definitely feels like our home, and we plan on being here forever.
perfect. And I'm joined by Abby, who, Abby, tell us what you do.
I am the bridal concierge here at Taj Salon Spa, and I'm the one who coordinates all the wedding parties. When a bride is planning her wedding, she contacts me, and we set the whole thing up. I love hosting parties at my house, and I love hosting bridal parties at the salon. So they come in and we have mimosas or orange juice and fruit and pastries. We try to make it a really great experience for them the morning of.
great.
Yeah.
And so no bridezilla is allowed, right? Is there a sign
Well-
out there? Is that okay?
I wish there should be.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you for that overview. And,
Yeah.
you know, like we said, Edinburgh, USA and Community Activity Center are great venues, and there's other places in our city. But you can start with Abby,
Yeah.
and she'll set you up.
And one really unique thing about Taj Salon and Spa is we do beauty calls. So we go on location too to do the hair and makeup. So we can go straight to the venue or the home or the hotel room.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Dan the Recycling Man here, and I'm always looking for new ways and new things to recycle. And today I want to tell you about hockey stick recycling. It's that time of year, and if you ever played hockey, you know these new composite sticks are always breaking. Well, not always, but often enough where you got to recycle them. So I want to tell you about an option to do it. There's a great program, and if you go to the website hockeygreen.com, you can find out more about it. There's two ways to recycle the sticks. One is through that website online, where they send out a postage paid container to put the stick in and mail it in, or drop it off at a UPS store. The second way is to drop it off at a Total Hockey store. The nearest one is in Minnetonka. So when you break that stick, don't forget about recycling. Plus, you may get a $10 gift card towards the purchase of your next hockey stick.
So we're joined today by Craig Invilson, the new Chief of Police for the City of Brooklyn Park. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So tell us a little bit about it. You've been involved with the city for a long time, but
I've been a police officer for Brooklyn Park for be 23 years this month. Started back in 1991. Throughout my career, done several things there. Field training officer, defensive tactics instructor, sergeant, captain, deputy chief. A lot of different hats over the years.
good, good. Well, lots of experience then with our city and what we're trying to do.
That's correct. Yeah, it's changed a lot since 1991, I can tell you that. I think where we're sitting now was probably a cornfield back in 1991 when I started, so a lot of changes in the city.
Well, you know, my interaction with the officers has been that it's been less about, you know, kind of that crime fighting and more about engaging with residents, and that's actually more effective than just going out there and responding to calls.
It's the best crime fighting tool that there is, actually. What we always tell neighbors and residents is that we as a police department don't always necessarily know what looks right and what doesn't look right on a block. So they live there. They're the ones that are able to call us and tell us that, you know, something's not correct.
And so that's one of the things I hear all the time is, oh, I didn't want to call 911. I didn't want to bother the police. They have better things to do. And you guys are always like, no, bother us. That's what we're here for.
Well, and what we try to share with them too is, you know, if how would they feel if they were out of town and something occurred at their house, and, you know, say it was a son coming to check on the property and a neighbor simply called the police to come and check on that, they'd be very appreciative of that. You know, and trying to reinforce that that's not a waste of our time is pretty crucial with them folks.
Yeah, I can think of the neighborhood that everybody in the neighborhood knew that this house was a party house.
Yep.
But no one ever called the police and let them know. And then when an incident happened there, you guys were, hey, this was a good house.
That's right.
We haven't got any calls, and it turned out that the neighborhood hadn't let anybody know that.
Right.
So,
Right, and we're constantly reinforcing that message with the residents as much as we can, that it's their city, it's their neighborhood. You know, to become active, become involved, and when they see something that's not right, in particular where they're living, is to give us a call, to come out and investigate it. And it's not a hassle, and the neighbors appreciate it.
And then I think a lot of neighborhoods know Jerry Gibbs.
Of course,
and her team.
yep.
And a lot of her techniques on how to be safe,
Yep.
how to know your neighbors, do things like that. And I think that people appreciate that.
Yeah.
That kind of advice to hear that here's how I can prevent crime without having to call you guys.
Well, and that's really kind of the beauty of National Night Out as well, is when we actually have the ability to sit down and get the neighbors together and talk to them about, you know, what's right, what's wrong, and things that they can do to make their neighborhood safer. Just getting down at that level and being able to talk to them is so much more beneficial than, you know, some kind of formal presentation or that kind of thing. Just sitting in their front yard having a discussion with them is so much more beneficial. And Jerry's about as good as they get at that.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. A legend, I think it would be
A good word.
And so a lot. I think we've got a task force going to the city.
Yes.
Take a look at how we communicate. And a lot of people are like, "Hey, I can go on the web. I can get information instantly." And what people are kind of asking. I think your impression of the task force and what we're hoping to get out of that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Communication means different things to different people. Some people only want to have involvement with the police or hear from the police when it's something that's directly involving them or their immediate area. Other people want to know when there's something occurring on the other side of the city. So that communication task force is really kind of sorting through what people's expectation and desire is.
Yep.
I think they're going to come forward with some good recommendations for us as far as what residents want to hear from us and how much they want to hear and when they want to hear it. Kind of along those lines, we're researching some different technologies right now where our patrol supervisors out on the street would be able to instantly connect at a neighborhood level and give them an update as to what's going on, and that blast can go out through Twitter, Facebook, email, that kind of thing. So
I think that's what I hear is just people they trust the police officer when they say you're safe.
Right.
We even though you can't share information because sometimes it's an ongoing investigation, but just it's okay.
Right.
Kids can go out and ride bikes. The situation is good, and that you would tell them if something was not safe.
And sometimes people just want to know. They're probably pretty comfortable knowing that it is safe, given that the police are there, but they just want to know what's going on in their neighborhood. Yeah. And sometimes it's something very minor. It can be a medical emergency, it can be something very minor, but people are just curious, why are the police and an ambulance and a fire truck down the street from my house right now?
Yep, absolutely.
So it's just getting that information out to them.
Yep, and I think one of the things that, with the police force has grown over the years, and I know that we have a number of officers that I think have just started. And,
yes. We have 8 officers starting right now. They started on Monday, and they're going to be going through about a 6-week academy before they even get into a squad car. And then once they get into the squad car, it's about a 4-month process before they're certified to go out on their own.
Okay.
So yeah, 8 starting Monday.
Hi, I'm Officer Brad St. Marie, and I just want to welcome the new recruits to Brooklyn Park, and just give you some words of advice would be to keep your sense of humor and don't let the job change you.
Okay, let's go back for a second. You're going to continually lose this because this is what your position, when you're pulling her back, this is where your body is. When you should be your hip into her butt here and pulling her this way. You're going to lose a little bit of this, but see how my body is still connected to her? So when I take her down, I'm still on top of her. Okay, so connect your upper body a little bit more to her and just think of that you're putting your hip into her rear. Okay? Hips to butts. Let's see it again, please. There you go. Good. That was beautiful. That was nice and controlled, Jason. That looked really good. How do you feel? You want that. You want that throaty, like, it sounds like you're choking them. You're not. If you've got that throaty, you'll know if you're choking them. You'll hear the difference. But when you're in that position, you might start to freak out a little bit, like, oh my God. You're gonna hear that gurgling, that throaty noise. That's actually, it's a good noise. That's what you want, okay? All right, one more time, please. Ready? Go. Your opposite, yep. So here, this is where you're gonna be on her spine. Here.
All right, one more time. Switch partners, and then we'll take a break. And remember, with this search, is this the full-blown search here on the ground? No. All we're looking for is, because this call came out, is the guy might have a gun. I don't know if there is a gun, but I know for sure it's not in the small of his back, and it's not in the front, because I've definitely checked that. I've ran my legs, or my hands, and checked the legs. Once you get this person up and get them over to the squad, that's where your full-blown search begins and ends. And then it starts all over again once we get them back in booking. All right, so you do verbal commands again, all right? And I want Hosa to do verbal commands, all right? Don't tail off, go slow, and I want to hear some anger, all right? If you guys can't get angry, I'm gonna start piping in heavy metal for the rest of the week. I'll get you some stuff going, all right? Hey, no, wait. There's no such thing as bad heavy metal, it's just heavy. All right, let's get on it.
Hands up, hands up. LRP, man. It's LRP. Everybody ready? Yep, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jason Chadbourne, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Boone John, MCTC.
Sanel Hosso, North Hennepin Community College.
Stacy Garding, Metropolitan State.
Mike Stanky, Metropolitan State.
Now on to some fun stuff. We have Charity Best at Zanewood, who's going to cover a program called We Are Hip Hop.
Lyrics bounced off the walls at Zanewood Recreation Center as members of We Are Hip Hop rehearsed. Melodies filled the air and dance moves were shared as these students focused on their craft. But this is not your typical rehearsal. These young people are preparing for a career as future performing artists.
That I do, and having a passion for music, and just also be able to be heard and get my stuff out there.
Avery, also known as Majesty, is an aspiring rapper who shares messages of positivity and personal experiences.
I feel like just being able to have something to say to people, and you know, have people relate to me, and so I can relate to them. And it's just more like a movement and just getting our stuff out there and being positive.
We Are Hip Hop is an artist development group that was created to provide an educational space for teenagers to hone their skills and to learn more about the entertainment industry. When artistic director Brandon Nelson was approached to take the program in another direction, he knew exactly what to do. By incorporating all elements of hip hop and art, he was able to showcase the many talents of the youth.
From the 80s, the original, like R&B, so you know, the music of the singers. Dance has always been a part of hip hop, and then the poetry aspect of it. You know, it's a storyline to each song, whatever the song may be.
Mallory Harris enjoys the spoken word element of hip hop. After his cousin passed away, he found that writing helped him heal.
I never can talk to people about my emotions and the way I feel, and when I write it down, it's just the ease of getting it off my heart.
With determination, ambition, and discipline, these young artists are making a statement and plan to keep plucking away until they reach their goal.
Because we've always loved to sing, like, for years, but we started to realize we wanted to do more with it.
Yeah, like, it was a passion, and we wanted to do it so badly.
Yeah.
Guys ready?
No, you don't.
1, 2, 3.
We are hip hop!
I just came from Edinburgh, USA, where I gave the State of the City address for the city of Brooklyn Park. Last year in our budget, we came about 57% of the people will see a 0 or less in their tax levy. So people will either see no increase or they will see a decrease. You know, having said 57%, that means the other half of that is 43%. 43% people are going to see some type of increase. And so what we've tried to do is take the long view on our budgets, not just make the plan for 1 year, knowing that in 3 years we're going to have a problem. We've been trying to be smart about looking out 2, 5, 10 years to see what decisions we are doing are going to hit us in the long run. Another thing that we've done in the city, we've made some news on this, is we believe fully in you know, our surveys show that our resident support that we're going to help invest where needed, where it makes sense in trying to attract companies here. We think this is important. We know that in our city we have some different needs. We have people who are mired in poverty, an education gap, and we're going to need to have that high-end tax base so that we can kind of balance out our city, and then also to help bring help to them, people who need help. And so what we've tried to do is say, hey, where it makes sense, where people are going to bring jobs that meet our threshold, we will consider participating with them, whether that's infrastructure. And so we look at that as kind of like a lineup, is that, you know, as a business owner, you can say, well, what am I getting? I've been here 20 years, you're giving someone fresh, new money. What we look at is opportunity to widen out that tax base. Brooklyn Park, we don't have a wide enough tax base. We know that long-term health for our city depends on widening that out. And that, if we widen that tax base out, that will lower the taxes for everyone. It will mean that the few businesses that carry a lot of the commercial tax weight will be a lot more businesses, and we'll spread that out. As part of that program, we moved on to a Business Forward advisory. We had a task force called Business Forward. And what they did is they looked at our city, and they came back with a bunch of recommendations. Some of them were, you know, a slap or punch in the face that was needed. And they told us a lot of things that we needed to change. And I think almost unanimously, we approved every single change they asked for. And what they said is the city needs to be better, needs to be more friendly. And we, the council and staff, took that to heart, and we implemented those changes. It didn't take long. And we've asked that Business Forward Advisory Board to stick around and continue to be a sounding board and let us know. You know, look at our things like how do we participate with new businesses. Recently, we were notified that the Business Forward Advisory Board was given an award for Economic Development Initiative by the state of Minnesota. The Economic Development Association of Minnesota recognized our initiative for the great value it is. And we think that it has been tremendous in opening a dialogue between business owners, operators, and the city. You know, I'm in business. I think I know what it's like to be in business, but I don't know what it's like to be in business in Brooklyn Park. There are people who do, and they need to tell us. As everybody knows, if you give me 5 minutes, eventually I mention the word job at least 55 times. It's what drives things, I think, what makes our city move. It kind of gives that vitality. When people see businesses going up, people tend to think more about their business when they see things growing. Right now, our goal has been to lead the metro in job creation for the entire decade. And right now we're sitting at about 9.8% since the beginning of the decade, which ranks far above Hennepin County. And it's really a self-goal for us. We want to strive to be first or best. If you add the jobs that are coming, what's in the pipeline, if anybody's in sales, you're making that argument about why you need the bonuses. You talk about what's in the pipeline, what's coming. Our job growth by the end of the decade right now will sit at 24%, and that we're not done. And so just today we received submission for another company, Prairie Cares, our home healthcare, our home mental health for youth. We'll be locating their expanded facilities in Brooklyn Park. There'll be another 200 jobs, which is kind of my lingo of what I talk about, that you bring jobs to a community, you provide that direct aid to a family. When a family life is stable, kids learn better. When people have jobs, things go better. And so I'm a full believer that if people are employed, that the good things will happen. We were happy to welcome in Olympus. They decided to build a new facility. It really came down to us, Boston, Nashville, and St. Louis, a national-wide competition. They wanted to have an innovation center where they design, manufacture, train, for the use of medical. And what these devices are is when doctors do that non-invasive surgery where they use like a little camera, that's where Olympus comes in. And so this is actually, their leading product now that cameras are kind of going away with smartphones. And so they are building a 180,000 square feet building just off of 610. Be about, when all said and done, about 250 jobs will transfer. And they're looking at creating about 100 to 150 more. And so we look at that again as that high-paying job that we need to attract. Quite simply, this is the stuff that we've been planning for years on 610. It's not by luck that it's happening. We've worked hard at that, and we depend on our business community and our staff to get this done. Target continues to go up. We're looking at probably the end of this year, about 4,000 IT professionals will be calling Brooklyn Park home. They'll start to kind of move in. It'll take some time. And, those jobs, one of the constant complaints in Brooklyn Park is we don't have enough shopping and we don't have enough restaurants. I know Maple Grove loves that fact because we end up all going to Maple Grove for this. But what we found is it's not we don't have enough restaurants, retail. We don't have enough daytime jobs. And so if we want to increase the restaurants and retail in our city, we have to increase the jobs. It's just a fact. So we can pontificate about all the ways we can do this, but until we get more people here during the day working, nothing's going to change. And so what these jobs will mean to residents who live here is they're going to start to see these restaurants start to appear and these shopping that they've been wanting. Baxter, earlier this year, Baxter Healthcare did actually a global search. We were competing with 3 other locations around the world for the right to host their biosimilars products. And so after kind of an extensive back and forth, you heard the state legislature, their Project Fern, where even the legislators couldn't know the name of the company because of the NDA. We were eventually awarded the right to call Baxter Healthcare home, Brooklyn Park, for one of their facilities. Stage 1 is about a $50 million investment, about 200 jobs. Stage 2, if things go right, would be about another $250 million and about another 200 jobs. This is high-end tech. This is not the biomedical devices that we're all used to in Minnesota. This is a different industry. And so thanks to our partners at Minsky, Hennepin Tech, and North Hennepin, because part of that wooing factor was the fact that we had education facilities to educate workers. They were very concerned about our ability to provide the workforce, because simply it's not an industry that's real prevalent. So we thank our local colleges for helping with that, because they were part of the process. Is anything on 610? It's land open for development. This has been Brooklyn Park's plan for decades. Was the last part of the city to be developed would be here. We are fortunate that with the governor deciding that let's complete that darn road, 610 being completed, and then eventually the light rail intersecting there, that we believe opportunity, hard work are going to mesh together. That's it for this edition of the Brooklyn Park Now.